Hello and welcome to another test release of the TechBytes videocast. I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about today. We've come on the fly and to just really test out a few other concepts. So Roy's probably got a better idea of what he wants to cover than I do. But Roy, over to you. I'll see what you start with and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, we still try to figure out the format for videos that we record. Hopefully a weekly occurrence, preferably. What we did in previous recordings, you can probably see them below if you're too interested. We're trying to test how to put the windows together, how to put the cameras, things like that. We had lots of issues. I think so far we spent over 5 hours trying to test more of the technical side of things. We had some synchronization issues with video and audio. I don't really know if it's resolved by now. It hopefully is going to be more presentable. In some cases we get lag of about 1 minute between the video and the audio, and that's extremely distracting, especially when you try to do a tutorial of some sort or an introduction to an application. What we could do instead is talk about the news, as we usually do in the show that's based on audio. It's a lot easier to talk about news than to do a review of an application, depending on whether you have visuals or not. As on the side, I believe you're seeing Tim playing some game. Maybe you can explain what he's doing.
Yeah, just very quick. Really, this was more of a test I want to run with Roy to see what sort of frame rate we were going to get, what sort of lag we were going to get as well, in respect of the show. Probably many people are going to be already aware of what this is, but it's something that we heard a lot about, and it's Minecraft. And yes, I am a very happy customer, and I've bought the package, bought the product, and yeah, this is Minecraft, my very humble abode in the Minecraft world. Really, this is just to test to see what sort of how it looks when we pump it out through the TechBytes videocast. So this is night time at the moment. There's not really much to say. I don't particularly think many people listening to the show are going to want to look at games and stuff like that. It's quite interesting to see how the combination that we've got running of record my desktop, my web browser using Skype for audio, and the whole convoluted package we have that gets out of the TechBytes videocast. It is quite interesting to see what sort of results we can achieve with it. So in this testing phase, why not? And what better reason than to give it a run? So yes, this is Minecraft, and hopefully during the show it'll become daylight in the game and you can see a little bit more of my creations. But well, I don't know if you want to go over a few bits of news in the meantime.
Well, this is something we can do separately. I just thought we could run through the readers, viewers, and so on. The proof of concept of sorts. This is the first episode. I suppose this is officially number 1 in some ways. We haven't prepared. I don't think we're going to prepare for shows in the future. We don't usually have any script down. We go through a bunch of topics. I look forward to what I could actually do is, probably don't do it now, is put applications as well on the screen. Myself and Tim, we share a desktop, at least the visual frame that you can see here. And we can do just about anything in terms of showing things to the viewers. I could just put an application that I'm interested in and give it a bit of a demo or recommendation of sorts to specific people. I see he's just playing around with whatever he's up to, and I suppose it's going to be more personable if we have the video, faces and desktops that we are using just to kind of approach readers in a more richer experience, multimedia-wise.
Well, I mean, if you want to take a topic from the news that takes your fancy, we'll have a quick discussion of that. And
it's actually interesting. We haven't talked about the mono situation since the previous episode, which, well, we did mention that after the interview with Jono, which we published last night. So I've been getting quite a bit of abuse from people associated with mono. I thought it was the end of that as soon as the project was over. But it turns out they're still quite emotional about that. I think quite a few of them have some packages dependent upon the existence of the mono project and maintenance of the package. I know you've had quite a bit of abuse yourself today.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, it's normally it's not worth talking about, and it's certainly not worth mentioning. But it was 2 posts out of the blue. I've got quite an advanced filter system set up now for comments. I'm quite happy to take any sort of criticism, but the one thing that I stand by, and I've always stood by, is my view that if you're going to post a comment, you don't do it anonymously, hidden behind a proxy. So one of the things I do is keep my block list up to date with all the known anonymous proxies and their IPs to prevent any sort of abuse of the site. There was a time a couple of months back where we were hit with some very vulgar posts that contribute absolutely nothing. They're mainly attacks and insults at people that commented on the blog and other people. So I didn't particularly want that. It didn't serve a purpose. So in order to stop that, I insisted that people post under a real IP address. It obviously doesn't change anything. People can still air their views, but to take a little responsibility for their own post. Yeah, and today I've got two. I assume they're from the same person, although they both came from different IP addresses. And they were on two separate posts, and it just made me wonder what had changed recently, because unlike most of the posts, which are just a general, quite generic insults, these were quite, well, attempted to be quite personal, quite directed towards me. So it was quite interesting having that read to me, having that said to me. So of course they didn't get through the filter. They weren't clever enough to work out how to get around it. So as it happened, it just stayed in the spam folder. But no, it just threw me a little bit, because I hadn't had something as insulting as that quite a while. And I say insulting, I don't mean it's affected me in any way, but merely the attempt to try and do so. So apparently one of them has a surprise for me, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Apparently I'm in for a surprise I'm not going to like. So we shall wait and see with bated breath.
I don't really know the nature of the troll you're talking about. A few things come to mind. Probably they weren't saying anything about the content of your post. So any attempt to distance themselves from the post itself means they cannot refute the claims. They just don't like what they hear. Second thing is, you said that was the family ever mentioned in any of the comments? Were they trying to take it?
Not this time round. I mean, last months ago, I think it was around about October last year, I think, was the time when it seemed to be acceptable for these people to mention various members of my family who they didn't even know and had no relation to what we were talking about. So that was, I think that was about at least 6 months ago, it might have been October. But that sort of led to my other policy of I keep my comment section open for 7 days, and then I close them. If people want to make a comment, more than welcome to the more recent posts. But I close it after 7 days purely because we were getting into the realm of people coming onto the site making very insulting, very vulgar remarks, but they were making them on posts that were like a year old, maybe even longer, and it was very difficult to keep on top of it. So I thought, well, 7 days is more than enough time to give somebody the opportunity to speak on a topic. If they feel that strongly, they can certainly post a more recent topic, and I can paste it in if need be. So 7 day policy is what I had, and it's automatically done by WordPress for me. So
yeah, in my case it's 2 weeks. What I actually found is the intimidation part is actually a way of manipulating people's behavior. Without mentioning any name, I had a person approach me today, and he was quite concerned about people giving him abuse for the fact that he was contributing to my site. He wasn't doing anything unusual, but they were trying to discourage people from doing so. And these people who hear about people's families or people's personal life being hurt by abusers who mostly intimidate people, it's a way of just creating a chill, trying to discourage the person from, let's say, advocating Linux or something just because he's afraid of the consequences. And usually they won't actually tell you what they would do. They just say, I have a surprise for you, or something's going to happen tomorrow. I've had this done to me before. And this isn't a threat. You see, when they put it like that, it can be anything. It can be something, I'm going to kill you tomorrow. It could be something like, oh, I'm just going to, post something that I found on the internet. You don't really know, but that's supposed to be part of the mystery, and that's a way of evading the liability. Actually, trying to dodge the... Because if you issue a threat to a person, then you actually have laws coming into